What's good? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the movie Equalizer 3. Equalizer 3 is a 2023 film. It's rated R and it's an hour and 49 minutes. Directed by Antoine Fuqua. Been a long time coming to watch this film. Finally got to it. There's a lot of dope things that I saw and a lot of interesting facts to just refresh the brain and know who's responsible behind the scenes and basically who got themselves involved in this movie. But straight up, the director Antoine Fuqua, Denzel, they're like best pals, literally. They're returning together, and Antoine Fuqua already knows the direction, knows the vibe of Denzel. And you got Denzel in here back again for the third movie. So in this third one, Denzel, Robert McCall, is more on the retired side of things, and in this movie he's trying to adjust to the retirement life, and we are in southern Italy. He's trying to find peace, he's trying to find a new home and basically get his mind off the past. Really enjoyed the storyline on seeing where it started from and then knowing where it ended up going to at the end. Really like the fact before going into the movie that Antoine Fuqua was directing this film. It just shows a lot of care, that shows just a lot of understanding, and it just shows that they didn't just go into this movie for a cash grab type of thing. You got the homies back to do literally the third movie from two boss movies. That just shows that dedication is straight up and the focusedness is literally there to make this movie stand out. Start off with Denzel. So I just basically watching this movie and couldn't wait to see Denzel show up on the screen. The way the movie starts, it's a perfect way to just know that Denzel's introduction is going to be on point. It's going to be one of those things like an introduction of a basketball team or a sports team where they do the intros. You're just going to want to cheer him on once you see him. The beginning scene was actually something that I was like, okay, what adventure, what action, what perspective are we going to see, especially knowing that there's a lot of corruption in these movies. Beginning, really liked how this movie started off with an approach of being like, yo, what is going on? We're seeing Denzel get introduced by literally taking over this one little spot in Italy, and when you get introduced with the camera work, you can see that Denzel's character walked through these walls. The introduction from seeing Denzel in here was such a boss move. This dude straight looked like a straight cold killer, did not look like somebody you want to mess with at all. And the camera angles in this movie, especially in the beginning, you can see that they're going with a more darker perspective. The perspective is like, this dude has a very cold past, really doesn't care about evil life at all, and it's Denzel. I really enjoyed that. You can feel that connection. You could feel that they were going with something to make this guy look very, very strong and very untouchable. The lines in the beginning, once again, just showed why Denzel is such a boss. He made it seem so effortless. The moves that he did, those small little tactics that he does, has control of every pressure scenario. I really enjoyed the beginning because the beginning, we're approaching a scenario more of like, why is Denzel after this boss dude? When that happens, I'm trying to figure out, is he going just to retrieve something and get something from this evil person? Like, does he just want to show up to him and be like, just give back what you aren't supposed to take? And that's the storyline of this movie. But the movie with the storyline, that's something that puts you in a position like, okay, there's actually more to this. And that's exactly what it was. Beginning, you seen Denzel basically approaching the evil boss to give him back stuff that he took. Later to find out that Denzel is in the middle of a crazy mafia drug empire. The fact that Denzel did not expect to put himself in a mafia drug based environment, you just know that this movie was just gonna grow from there. It's actually very interesting, and it did have that surprising moments where it didn't feel like thing that we saw before. Very intense, good pacing to show that there was literally out of nowhere moments. Not only we seen a build up and understanding with his character, we're also seeing an understanding with his whole environment. He's adjusting to a new life, adjusting to new people in his life. You can see from the other movies, his personality is still in this movie. Denzel still has his OCD tactics, still understands you can't really trust anybody. Really cool to know when good people are being harmed and good people are being manipulated and violently attacked. This is where Denzel's character comes to shine. Does not mess with any evil people or any corruption, and Denzel is literally in this movie very funny how he just ends up in these moments where he's like, I don't like this dude at all. A lot of twists and turns, because even in the beginning scene where he gets hit, that was a huge shocker for me. Didn't know if that was real or not. Crazy with his choices of just being like, he wanted to end it there. I thought that was pretty insane, but then it makes sense to the point where like Denzel's character only attacks adult evil people. Like his mental state and his understanding, you know that he can't go and try to kill this little kid. Even though Denzel's character has a cold, vicious assassin heart, he still won't attack children, even if they're a part of, you know, the bad side as well. I just wanted to know what else this movie was gonna bring. Personality wise, placed in the right spot to see who he was. I really like Denzel's interaction when he was chilling in the coffee shop. Really like his personality and one-on-one acting when he actually deals with the doctor person. You could see that it wasn't a forced vibe. It was something that, you know, the good energy was there without them having to ask too many questions. Denzel is just a straight boss actor in this movie. If you guys haven't seen this movie, you can see the small things Denzel is improvising that just adds to the character, and I feel like only Denzel could do that. His interaction with the whole Italy town felt very natural and felt very at heart and very warm. Really like how he looks out for a lot of people in that small town. He's very quick to grab things. There's a lot of personalities in the town of Italy that really showed how Italy is. I really like how Antoine Fuqua showed a lot of environment scenes in this movie, showed a lot of like drone shots as well that showed where they're at, what they're dealing with. We're getting introduced to the lifestyle, we're getting introduced to the environment of Italy, and we're really seeing both sides of basically the good and bad, and I think well represented. In this movie, you are seeing him age a little bit, especially from the other two movies. Very happy that we could see another Denzel performance, that he's just taking over this movie. Dakota Fanning, crazy to know that them two both acted in the movie Man on Fire, and Denzel in that movie, straight natural in that movie. If you haven't seen that movie, phenomenal movie, go watch it. Dakota Fanning in this movie playing the character Emma Collins. One, you appreciate them both back together. They haven't been acting with each other in over 20 years. Dakota Fanning acting with Denzel, you could just see that she's just having a great time. She's literally sitting back and letting Denzel do his work while she's just absorbing what Denzel's doing. I think the connection between both of them was very good, natural, and something you just enjoyed them both being together whenever they had the chance. Maybe added a couple more scenes between both of them, but the fact that they had really good on point lines, you're like, okay, they're saying this right now, this has to lead to something else later in the movie. I think the pacing between both of them and screen time was a very funny one and a very appealing one as well, especially the first introduction between both of them. You could just see, let's get it done. I think she did a phenomenal job. Everybody in Italy fit that vibe as well. The personality, speaking in Italian, all fit amazingly. And one thing I forgot to add, shout out to Denzel, because in this movie, and like a lot of other movies, Denzel is actually speaking in Italian in this movie. Quite a few lines that Denzel is, you know, speaking in Italian. Really like the doctor who helped him out, Dr. Enzo. He's played by Remo Girone. And I do like the cop that helped him, Gio. That felt like home with them characters. Good acting between them. Evil villains in this movie, did like how they looked. I do like the way they walked, and I do like the way they were holding themselves together. They're showing up to these environments, bullying basically the whole city, getting their money, trying to manipulate the whole town just for their own gain. That mafia, I do feel like it was believable. One thing I would add to this movie is add a couple more scenes with the main mafia boss. His name is Vincent. Denzel's character literally took his time with him. Michael Myers vibe. Vincent's brother ended up going through it as well. There's a couple angles in this movie where it kind of surprised me, so shout out with the surprising angles. I think you guys are gonna like the first person perspective when they do show it. The music score was interesting at times, in sense of like the music whenever it's fast action, good choice to make your heart start beating quicker. Good choice on making Denzel look like a straight boogeyman, Michael Myers type of vibe. I think the music went kind of towards like a horror vibe. It didn't go fully towards a horror vibe, but the fact that you had good camera placement and good music score in the back, can't be mad at those choices. Really like that they were trying to do something different, make it stand out different, that fit very natural. So shout out the music score. I think the music score was great. You're gonna enjoy it. It has good relaxing music to show the environment of Italy, but then when the action scenes kick off, boom, this music also kicks off as well. Shout out to all the choices in this movie from the beginning, the middle, and the end. I think all the choices and all the mind twists in this movie fit the movie very well and made the movie what it is. I could see a lot of people being like, why did he have these choices? Why he didn't just do this if he was serious with it? But if you just think about it, this is why this movie stands out and why Denzel is a boss himself. If we didn't go with these grimy moves or this crazy perspective that this movie chooses, we wouldn't have a movie at all. I need to rewatch the first one. Second one, I really enjoyed that one. But in this movie, I really noticed that his character connection wasn't a crazy impactful one. You just kind of went through everyday emotion with these people. In the other movies, you're seeing more of a stronger connection. Not too mad with with the direction they went with. Denzel, once again, his personality is just the shining thing in this movie. After my watching the movie Equalizer 3 out of 10, I'm gonna have to give the movie a 9 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie Equalizer 3. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.